In the natural world, not all interspecies relationships are based on mutual support. Some relationships are mutually beneficial, such as small birds that clean parasites off the bodies of buffalo. However, there are also relationships where one party takes without ever giving back, like the cuckoo bird, which lays its eggs in the nests of other birds and leaves them to raise its offspring. The unfortunate mother birds never realize that they are pouring all their energy into nurturing a creature that will never truly belong to them. This phenomenon doesn't just occur in nature, it also appears in human relationships. Avoidant individuals in particular tend to get caught up in the initial euphoria of a new relationship, but as things become too intimate, they begin to pull away. They crave connection, yet they fear closeness. This fear drives them to unconsciously use you as a means to fulfill their emotional needs without ever committing. Trauma can fall under this category. Depression represents the unconscious search for closeness and a lack of understanding. You may have noticed that something feels off. Perhaps they only show up when they need you, avoid serious conversations about the future, or worse, leave you feeling trapped in a nameless, directionless relationship. But how can you be sure that you're not the only one investing in this relationship? Here are 12 clear signs that an avoidant person might be taking advantage of you. Pay close attention to the last sign. It could be the answer you've been searching for all along. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any valuable upcoming videos. Let's dive in right now. Sign 1. They only show up when they need you. They might disappear for weeks or even months. No messages, no check-ins, but suddenly they reappear right when they need something from you. It could be a shoulder to lean on during a rough time, emotional support, or simply someone to fill the void of loneliness in that moment. You may feel confused when they return, as if nothing ever happened. No apologies, no explanations. They don't care how you felt when they left. They only care about whether you're still available for them. For example, imagine having a friend or an ex who only texts you when they're going through a tough time, a breakup, work trouble, or just a bad day. But the moment things stabilize, they disappear again, as if you never existed in their life. You are not their priority, you're just a backup option for when they feel empty. So if they only seek you out when they need something but never actively invest in the relationship, do they truly value you? Or are you just a convenient choice? And here's the next thing to watch out for. Not only do they appear only when they need you, but they also avoid commitment by steering clear of clear emotional bonds. Let's move on to the next sign. Sign 2. They come back when you try to move on. Imagine being in an ambiguous relationship with an avoidant person. They treat you like someone special but never commit. You grow tired of this uncertainty and decide to focus on yourself. You stop initiating conversations, checking in, and perhaps even start seeing someone new. Then suddenly they show up again. They act interested, ask you out, and say sweet things like they did in the beginning. You think maybe this time things will be different. But the moment you start opening up again, they grow distant and cold. Just like before, avoidant individuals fear both loss and intimacy. When they know you're still around, they don't feel the need to put in effort. But the moment you step out of their control, a vague sense of anxiety kicks in. They don't want to lose you, yet they also don't want to commit. This isn't a sign of regret or true love. It's an emotional control loop. Don't fall into this trap, as it can be incredibly difficult to break free. It's a mental and emotional roller coaster. When this sign appears, it's a major red flag. Don't let yourself be swayed by their sudden attention. It may not come from a place of sincerity. Now, on to the next sign. Sign 3. They make you feel like you're in a one-sided relationship. You're always the one who initiates conversations. You're the one who makes plans to meet. You're the one who patiently listens, comforts, and supports them when they have a bad day. But when you need care, when you need a simple check-in, when you need someone by your side, where are they? If you always feel like the only one putting effort into the relationship, while they only take without giving back, You might be in a one-sided relationship with an avoidant person. They want to receive love, but are not willing to give it. The scariest part? You might not even realize it right away. They may have fleeting, sweet moments that make you think they genuinely care. They might send an unexpected message, say something affectionate, or do something small that gives you hope. But then they turn cold again, as if nothing ever happened. This creates emotional instability. You're never sure how they truly feel, but you always have a lingering hope that if you just try a little harder, they will finally reciprocate. And that's the trap. For example, imagine you're dating an avoidant person. Whenever you text them, they reply with short responses, or worse, don't reply at all. When you suggest meeting up, they always have an excuse. But then, out of nowhere, on a random day, they text you first and ask if you want to hang out. You feel excited, thinking maybe they like you too. But the truth is, they were never truly present from the start. Do you feel like you're loving them one-sidedly? If you're still unsure, let's keep going. Sign 4. You're a backup plan, not someone special. Do you ever feel like just a secondary option in their life? Avoidant individuals may keep in touch with you in a minimal way, sending a few casual texts when they're free, arranging last-minute meetups, and consistently dodging any solid commitments. Dates with them often feel rushed, lacking effort or thoughtful planning. Any discussion about the future is either ignored or met with vague deflections. For instance, if you suggest taking a trip together, rather than responding with enthusiasm, they may give you evasive answers like, "Let's see how things go," or "What if I get busy around that time?" This clearly shows that you are not a priority in their life. They want to keep the relationship going, but only as long as it remains convenient and doesn't demand any responsibility from them. Have you noticed any of the signs I've mentioned so far? If so, feel free to share in the comments below. If not, congratulations. You might still have a chance at a more fulfilling connection. Sign 5. Flash dating and sudden cancellations. Have you noticed that your plans with them mysteriously fall apart too often? If they frequently cancel plans at the last minute without a valid reason, or if you realize they don't make time for you at least once or twice a week, it's a serious red flag. No matter how busy life gets, someone who genuinely cares about you will always make an effort to nurture the relationship. Even if they can't meet in person, they'll find ways to call or text, ensuring you know you're still on their mind. On the other hand, if they keep flaking on you, it could be a clear sign that you're merely their plan B. For example, you might receive a familiar text, "Sorry, today's crazy for me, let's reschedule." Then, radio silence. They don't even bother suggesting a new date to make up for it. This is a strong indication that they don't value your time and have no real intention of investing in the relationship. Sign 6. Late-night chats and last-minute check. Have you noticed that they only check in with you through late-night messages, usually after 11 p.m.? This is one of the clearest red flags that you may be getting used by an avoidant person. These messages don't come from genuine care or a real desire to build a meaningful relationship. Instead, they suggest that they only reach out when they're feeling lonely or need a temporary emotional fix. Think about it. If they truly cared about you, they would make time to talk to you during the day, engage in meaningful conversations, and plan real dates. Instead, they only contact you at odd hours when everything else has gone to sleep. Messages like, "What are you up to?" or "Want to hang out at midnight?" don't just show a lack of effort, but also indicate that you are not a priority to them. So don't let these fleeting small talk moments trick you into believing they genuinely care. Someone who truly loves and values you won't just reach out when they suddenly remember you. They will always be present, especially when you need them the most. Sign 7. Big promises, but no follow-through. Have you ever been swept away by sweet promises from them? Talks about traveling together, meeting their family, or even building a future. Yet those promises somehow disappear over time, leaving you with nothing but unfinished hopes. The disconnect between their words and actions makes you wonder, are they serious about you, or are they just keeping you around for their own benefit? Let's hope. Whether this was actually the author's or not, avoidant individuals often use this tactic to keep the relationship in a safe zone for them. They won't give you enough hope to move forward, but they also won't let you leave. A classic example? They might say they want to spend more time with you, but every time you suggest a date, they're too busy. Or they may promise to change, yet their actions remain the same. Don't get trapped in an endless loop of floating promises. Pay attention to their actions, because actions always speak louder than words. Sign 8. One-sided effort and suspicious indifference. One of the clearest signs that you're being used by an avoidant person is when all the effort in the relationship comes from you. If you're the one who always initiates conversations, calls, plans meetups, or tries to keep the spark alive while they remain indifferent, or worse, disappear without explanation, then chances are you are not on their priority list. Someone who genuinely cares about you and values the relationship will balance the effort. They will actively check in on you, plan activities together, and show genuine interest in getting to know you better. On the other hand, a person who only takes without giving, whether it's time, attention, or emotional effort, is likely just using your presence to fulfill their own needs, without considering your emotions or future. Ask yourself this: if I stop putting in the effort, will this relationship survive? If the answer is no, then you already have your answer about their true level of interest. A healthy relationship requires both people to build it together, not just one person carrying the entire weight. Sign 9. Spontaneous dates, but not because they're excited about you. Do your dates with them always seem random, last minute, and unplanned, as if you were just a backup plan? An avoidant person rarely puts effort into making thoughtful plans to see you. Instead, they just show up when it's convenient for them or when they have nothing else to do. Of course, some people naturally struggle with planning ahead, but if they truly value you, they will at least make an effort to prepare and look forward to seeing you. If their invitations always feel spontaneous and last minute, such as, "Are you free tonight? Let's meet up. I'm nearby, want to hang out? Still awake? I can drop by," then chances are you're not a priority, you're just filling their empty time slots. A person who genuinely respects and values you will make plans, anticipate seeing you, and not treat you like a last-minute option. So what happens when you decline their sudden invitations? Do they make an effort to pursue you, or do they immediately move on to someone else? The answer will become clearer in the next sign. They avoid clear commitments. Let's find out more. Sign 10. They show up when they need you, disappear when they're done. Do you feel like you're just a temporary stop in their life? When they need help, a shoulder to lean on, or simply someone to listen to them, they show up acting all affectionate, but the moment things settle down, they vanish as if nothing ever happened. This is one of the clearest signs that you are being used by an avoidant person. They may come to you to unload their negative emotions, seek comfort, or even ask for help with work, but when you need someone to confide in, they become indifferent, make excuses about being too busy, or simply disappear. Pay attention to these behaviors. They only text or call when they need something. They share their problems with you, but are nowhere to be found when you need them. Everything happens on their terms. They decide when to connect and when to leave. This creates an imbalance in the relationship and makes you feel like your worth is measured only by what you can give. But if they don't want to lose you, why do they always keep their distance? The next sign will help you understand this better. Sign 11. At-home dates and private nights in. Have you ever wondered why your dates with them always take place within 4 walls? A clear red flag that you may be getting used by an avoidant person is that they never take you on real public dates. Instead of planning a romantic dinner at a nice restaurant, an exciting outdoor picnic, or a short getaway trip, they limit your interactions to their private space. Watching movies at home, cooking dinner together, or simply just the two of you. While this may seem cozy and intimate, it actually reveals a lack of investment in the relationship. Ask yourself, are they avoiding making the relationship public, or do they just want to keep you at a safe distance? Close enough to meet their needs, but without the responsibility or commitment. Whatever the reason, if you feel that you're not being treated properly and are not receiving the same emotional investment in return, it's time to question their true intentions. Sign 12. Vague future and unclear answers. One of the most obvious signs that you're being used by an avoidant person is their constant avoidance of conversations about the future. No matter how subtly you try to bring up future plans, whether it's a weekend getaway, a dinner with friends, or even just a simple date next week, they always respond with vague, dismissive answers like, "We'll see, depends on how things go. Let's not plan too far ahead." Someone who is serious about a relationship will not hesitate to talk about the future because they want to build something meaningful with you. On the other hand, an avoidant person avoids such discussions because they don't want to invest their emotions and energy into the relationship. They keep you around in the present but never offer any form of commitment for the future, because true commitment requires vulnerability. And that's something they are always trying to escape. If they aren't willing to share their intentions or include you in their plans, are you really in a relationship? Or are you just filling the void in their moments of loneliness? Don't settle for a relationship that lacks clarity and direction. Instead, take this as an opportunity to recognize your own worth. You deserve someone who is willing to invest in you, someone who sees you as a star in their life, not just a temporary shadow. Healing advice for you. If you realize that you've been taken advantage of by an avoidant person, remember, you are not alone. More importantly, you deserve a healthy relationship where both partners nurture and appreciate each other. The most crucial thing right now is to heal, protect your self-worth, and learn how to establish clear boundaries in future relationships. Accepting that you've been used is not easy, but it's a critical turning point in your healing journey. Allow yourself to process all the emotions: sadness, anger, disappointment. These feelings are completely normal and deserve to be acknowledged, as they help you gain deeper insight into what you've been through. To prevent yourself from falling into similar situations in the future, you need to learn how to set boundaries. Ask yourself, what do I truly deserve in a relationship? If you find that you're the only one making an effort or constantly enduring emotional neglect, it's time to draw a clear line. A healthy relationship should always be a mutual effort. After stepping away from a toxic dynamic, dedicate time to yourself. Engage in activities that bring you joy, relaxation, and energy. Read an inspiring book, take up a favorite sport, or explore a new hobby. Self-love is one of the most powerful tools for rebuilding your confidence and preparing yourself for healthier relationships. Don't hesitate to share your story with close friends, family, or a trusted community. Talking about your experiences lightens the emotional burden and allows you to receive valuable advice and fresh perspectives. If needed, consider seeking support from a therapist to gain deeper emotional clarity. Rather than seeing this experience as a setback, treat it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what have I learned about myself, about relationships, about the values I truly cherish? This reflection will not only help you avoid repeating the same mistakes, but will also strengthen you emotionally, making you more resilient in future relationships. Final words: you deserve real love, not a temporary option. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I hope these insights have given you a clearer perspective on your relationship. If you have thoughts, personal experiences, or stories to share, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always here to listen. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need it too. And most importantly, cherish yourself. You deserve a love that is genuine, not just a temporary choice. You deserve a relationship that brings joy and peace, where you are truly valued and loved. Keep moving forward, because a brighter, happier future awaits you. Stay strong and never forget your worth.